Going to demonstrate the working of uh, the double acting cylinder with the control of double solenoid 5 by 2 direction control valve. So we can see there are two solenoids here, 1 and 2, and there are 5 ports, and you can observe 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. There are 5 ports, and the middle one is the pressure port. And these two are exhaust ports, and they are designated as R and S. And these two are working ports. They are designated as, this port is designated as A and this port is designated as B. And we want to control by this double acting cylinder, the operation of this double acting cylinder, by making use of this 5 by 2 double solenoid actuated direction control valve. And I have given the pressure source to this port, and I connected the exhaust pipes, exhaust hoses. You can see. So the one of the exhaust hose is connected to this the check valve, and the another exhaust port is connected to another check valve. You can see the symbol, and it allows the flow only in one direction, this the check valve. And we want whatever the exhaust, instead of letting out to the atmosphere, we want to let it pass through the muffler, so that there is no there is no noise when the pressurized air is getting exhausted to the atmosphere. So without muffler there is a lot of sound, and with muffler the sound level will be minimized. And these two, you can see the pressure, the port A. Port A is this port. This is connected to this end of the cylinder, and the port B. This is the port B, and this is connected to the other end of the cylinder. And now we have to use the pneumatic air and as well as the power supply to operate the solenoids. And why the solenoid? Why the solenoids? The reason for using the solenoid actuated valves is to operate remotely, to control the cylinder remotely and programmatically and safely. That is why we can operate from at a distance by making use of the PLC. So without the physical presence of the operator nearby the equipment to ensure the safety, and that is why they are being popular, and they are being used in the production lines. They are used in the refrigeration systems and many other applications we can find across the industry. So that is why most of the systems now they are using the solenoid actuated valves to control the single acting or double acting cylinders. And now let us see how the operation of the solenoid actually. What happens is when current is passed to the solenoid, so that is, once it is energized and the electromagnetic field is created, and which makes the spool to move towards the magnetic field. So magnetic field attracts the spool or the plunger inside the valve to either side, based on which solenoid we are operating. So first I am energizing, I am sitting on this, and when I am operating, now this is it is normally closed valve. Initially the pressure supply is stopped, and now I am energizing this particular solenoid. So if I am energizing this solenoid, what is happening is from the pressurized air, the compressed air is going from P to P to A. So this is, it is pressure is the pressurized air is going in this route P to A, and thereby making the piston to move to in this direction. So whatever the air is there on the other side of the piston, that is going to be exhausted from from this port B to S. So this is the S port. So from B to S it is going to be exhausted, but instead of letting the air to go into the atmosphere and we are forcing the air to pass in this direction, it will allow the air to pass only in this direction, and it is forced to pass through the muffler, so to reduce the sound level. And this is when this particular solenoid is actuated, energized, then the spool inside will move in such a direction that the path is available for the compressed air to move from P to A, and that is why and the piston is moving in this direction. And if I am in the other way, if I am energizing the other solenoid, so if I am energizing this solenoid, again there is a the movement of the spool inside, and that is making from P to B. So the air will pass from P to B. So this is this port is B, and this port is B, and this is making the piston to move in this direction or to retract the piston. So the air is moving in this direction to act on the piston. But on the other side of the piston, whatever the air is there, it must be exhausted. That air will get exhausted from the other P to B. This air is moving in one direction. The other direction is from A to R. So from A, this is A. The air from the other side of the piston, from A, it is going to be exhausted through R, and it moves in this direction, and it flows in this direction, and it will be forced to pass through this particular muffler, and the purpose is the same. So the exhaust air will be forced through these check valves to pass through the muffler, thereby reducing the sound. And this is how we can we are physically operating the solenoid, actuating the energizing the solenoids, and but it can be done remotely also by making use of the PLC to ensure the safe operation, and there is no physical presence of the operator is required near the equipment, thereby saving the time, ensuring the safety, reliability, efficiently we can operate the system, and we can have as many solenoid actuated valves as possible. So this is about the working of the 5x2 double solenoid actuated direction control valve, which is controlling the double acting cylinder.